will you see Muslims there?
Aha.
There are many Acholis and Langis and the Baganda and the Banyankola and the East who are dying on a daily basis. But the only problem is that this one is a recognizable death. Yes, OULANYAH bafudde bangi nnyo. But the problem is recognition. You are recognizing because he is a recognizable person.
Yes.
If an ordinary Acholi had died, yes, there are barriers in Acholi now. When Mandela was arrested, there were many prisoners who were arrested. Why did he make a change, Mandela? Why did Mandela become different? Jesus was crucified by other criminals. Why? Jesus. Yes. Two, why do you believe that Museveni who recruited you is the one who has killed you? Because where I disagree with Museveni, Ntibata Nebanda, the Bamusurao, Kayugula, out of excitement. Naganti, no more opposition. It was not necessary. Because Yadita put the party in Ale. Ngola good. Archbishop of Anglican Church. Without himself problems. Bagan wanga for a wanga tayari ani yakugenda
lwaki gosoko lwaki gojjayo
chichi musejo gwe chichi kuuba chichi yaleta mukogera that statement alone destroyed this man
chitufu
to the Catholics.
Yes.
Have you seen the new Archbishop of Kampala going there? Yes. Wanga tayari deyo banyakubulidde nti yafudde kulya. So how can Museveni nabagamba ti oyo mwana lwabwoko agenda kugwa era mukataba kange muwandiise ye Masai Warrior nimbaga Museveni jamu kuba muteeke wali why the moment people know tachali in the favor of God ajja kusanga numerous cases kuba has accumulated whether through the kujoga abantu kuwamba mata kuwamba nyama kuwamba maliba muganda we kuba nyanja kola atya is not out of business acumenship. It's not sustainable. Kati Museveni amutabu ati ngo bamulindiridde bwe bati ngo zigunya zimuyolawo. Let him do it. Yagambye yagenda natandika ne program ze ku radio ne TV. You go Uganda gye twagala encha. You go. I'm encouraging you. You under the influence of a meme. Bantu bakube bakukyawa dda. Ojja kuwulira. Kakati nko.
Before you go to the book, mbadde nkugamba nti mamu kubatunuliddwa. Kadaga akomo ku
Kadaga bwaba akoma umusasira. Let me read here. Kakati mbagamba. Toyita kanti ate Museveni abaleeta yabatta. Ne mujjukire timwabeera ku muki. I always tell my children, my girls, when you say man bringing pickups to us, naleeta ennyama naleeta ki kitegeeza akwagala nnyo. The moment you meander ajja kutta. Abaganda bagamba nti ewakoma obubi wakoma bulungi wakoma n'obubi. When you are seeing, don't you see couples killing themselves? Is it not possible that Acholis are killing themselves? Is it not possible that Acholis are killing themselves? Why do you blame others? What if you are killing yourselves? Namumwetta abanozana balya musowaani emu mu lusaniya lumu obutwa balimwe kufa bo bamanyi poison abawestern bamanyi malisi kubanga bati bamanyi ddogo. The first time they have encountered witchcraft is when they confronted him. Tokubaganye paka bajja kutegula. We call it kutegula. Lwabogo biri kutegula. Kabusenga rupemya 100 million. Kabusenga yarwanira ekibanja na gundi. Wamulabyeko mu harvest money. Arwanira ekibanja na muganda. Ayi mukama otenderezebwe Katonda w'eggulu. Ayi mukama Kabusenga arwanira ekibanja waabwe na muganda we. Aje kuwadde tuzati level.
Atuse ku level eyo.
Akaduka ke kamujeyo ku mwami. Akanuka ng'amazzi ke kamujeyo ku mwami. Akaduka ng'amazzi ke kamujeyo mu kamulwaniyo. Kanunya sente everywhere. Lumone chikulumbadde buli kanuka buli kalaga kanuka. Otwakita ne kanukirako. Akati kunkubuuliza.
Kale.
Nti I wrote this book.
The Invisible what?
Nakawandika mwaka ki. Let me recall.
2016. 2nd July.
Before you attack Museveni. Before you attack Museveni for OULANYAH. How did OULANYAH receive the very people who fought to Kadaga. When Kadaga comes back, nino mwana gwena tumalebeka Kadaga ngandi mujjako. Yes.
Kadaga singako mwana yakomawo.
Nakomawo.
Akomawo.
Anti bayina jabu eyokubiri.
Baba
kujogo yino komawo ne
bakubajja jabu eyokubiri.
Bajabu yobujoze eyokubiri. Tuki nakituma sempija virus. Sempija gundi ya mugoba lwamira mana mugoba mu sente zenzi. Ne bamugamba nti yabye entezama
wako.
Ne bumundi kaka hasajja. Erebe kali kabye tulakitako kajireta kiro. Sempija yaje wange. Jajja bantu wala ne mulwana we. Jajja batutwala. Nenkolera sempija kati ali balwambira babazimba bizimbe yene bamukomyawo. Ali mu bizinga amatasola na kuandika muntu nomuka. Can this man recruit a single soldier from Kalungu?
Sempija.
Ali mu bizinga tudde balwamira mabayina bizimbe mukole bwe muti. Ne Kadaga akomebwa bejabu eyo.
Kadaga agenda funa jabu eyo kubiri.
Nze sijja kudda.
Agenda kuba limited Kadaga
I'm going to fight for Muhoozi and go. When Museveni does not come back and Muhoozi does not come back, I will join the opposition. Take any commissioner too. I will join the opposition.
Museveni takomawo.
Ngenda kuddayo waffe abakatoliki waliwo ekiseera lwakima mukazi we bafe bulungi. Ngenda kudda waffe gye nava. Naye sijja kujogerwa lwabwo. Baba amugambye mu naye yasembewo naona yasembewo bagabana eggwanga lyaffe. Lyammwe mwejja n'ekintu. Did you come with kintu? Mwabajoga ensi. Nanuka mwabatta abantu abalina emisaayi mu ngalo.
Kale
read my book.
Kulwakati tuwa akatabo.
Kakadde akatabo kakagamba bwe kati. Nti mujjukire Oulanyah we yabeerera ow'amaanyi. Nkubuulira ne gamba parliament. The biggest blunder the government made was to retain Rebecca Kadaga as a speaker, who is coming back. The battle to remove Kadaga was poorly planned. First, planners long believed that Kadaga would lose a parliamentary seat, which did not materialize. Secondly, Sam Kutesa did not react to accusations that he was eyeing the speakership. Having been elected the president of the United Nations General Assembly, Kutesa would have resigned from government active politics because serving as a foreign affairs minister was untenable. Kana katabona kaunti ka 2016. Nkulaga
Second July.
Oulanyah bwe yalwanyisa Kadaga. The one that you are now accusing Museveni of having killed. How did he take the limelight? Did he ride on the shoulders of Achoris?
No.
Or he rode on. Why do you complain now? Nkugamba. Yes. However, there were very few options. In Africa, status is reflected in the political office you have. Secondly, Africa does not regard lobbyists highly, as it is the case in USA. Other options for Kutesa would include the vice presidency, prime minister, and the speakership. This is why the reports of Kutesa being interested in the speakership were taken seriously. But Kadaga knows the difference between, I'm surprised, but Kadaga knows the difference between Kadaga Gobawo, Butwa Kunyenyi Museveni Namuyamba Yakomawo. Nembwe manyije batajagala. Nembwe manyije batajagala.
Tegendayo.
Yes. Kadaga as speaker, head is one of the pillars of the state, which is parliament. She controls her own budget and she is free compared to the vice president who doesn't have a budget. Therefore, Kadaga could not accept any other appointment. Yabawangula
luli eri.
Kubaka na akatabo ka 2016. Yes. I'm analyzing the invisible force.
Yes.
Nina invisible hand eyambabazi. Nina invisible force eyakomyawo Sekandi Luli. Eyakomyawo Kadaga. Eyakomyawo Amelia Kyambadde. Bali written off. Eyakomyawo Nantaba. Waliwo force yabakomyawo. Bali tebakimanyi. Nze siwaliwo kyesimanyi wano. Ebyuma byange mazina by'emyaka 10 tewali meeting gye siwulira wano. Ate yabalema tebamanyi bweri era batudde ne bagamba nti the president wants to give this man money to retire, but the problem he has refused to tell him to surrender this bagita spynet. Spynet tulina gwogiwonera spynet ng'ogiwonera akasajja ke nalabye nga kavuma Muhoozi ng'ali ne Lwabwogo n'aga nti ne kitaawe yamwise omwana mulalu omwana abatamidde nayogera ku Russia nayogera ku ani neyogerako yamuyise nga notafiire wani nkubira otafiire simu yabyeganye ng'era waliwo negundi sempijja namukangakanga nako ne kagamba teyina magezi akamukubira tamaama singa mukozi akakwatette singa bakakuba nebakakuba olutwe Museveni yakakwatako mu State House n'akajimba nekagenda nga bakakutte empale n'olutwe lwako n'olutwe n'obutwe obukajagaladde busejja bubi nnyo very dangerous.
Kati tugende mu maaso
nkugamba the planners of Kadaga at that time not this time
the other time
the planners failed to understand the undercurrent forces at play. Kadaga went primitive and played the tribal card. She confronted the first family accusing it of trying to grab everything in the government. Furthermore, the anti-Kadaga forces failed to undermine her using her poor health background, pointing to her health and that she was sick, could not work because sickness is human. In fact, OULANYAH bali bagandi overage people we know providing disease. What is hitting up Kadaga nga bamukubanga ekiyoyo? What is hitting up Kadaga? OULANYAH nagamba Kadaga cannot manage the tennis parliament. The country Kadaga forces failed to undermine her using her poor health background, pointing to her health and that she was sick. Sickness would not work because sickness is human. In fact, it won't harm more supporters. Finally, it seems there were several other underground forces. Yesterday, ekiwenyeza Museveni kiri eki bajja sente Malawi ne bajja sente Mombasa ne bajja sente Zambia kutesa oyo kalisa zanzanyirako 5 billion. Bali bamanyi nti zaze kola ki sente Museveni nasiba sente z'omusajja ezabadde ziva mu Southern Sudan zabadde zize kola ki kugula bululu.
Kuinfluence kigenda mu maaso mu parliament.
They knew
Njona ino okufa tulina kudamu okulonda
anti bakubuulira. Even my doctors told me nti singa tobadde nagundi na ng'onywa
chako singa wagenda dda
singa nagenda dda naye nsobola okuba nalimba manyi nawona obutwe emirundi mu State House mu center y'abalokole. When you read my book inside the palace I'm a bitter man, very bitter Museveni simanyi kyalinkolera kubanga baali banzita lwakubeerayo. Nategeera abaana bano nti batta abantu malwaliro n'entwe yakono n'olutekano akasonda olutekano. Oli mwavu gwe wava mu bwavu ofunye n'ebintu nodda mu kutta abantu kati ali indicted ate be bafuma mukozi bwanuka
sente za musaayi
abanuka ng'amazzi omukuba mukozi abanuka ng'amazzi mwabanuka ng'amazzi were indicted by the international community. Nkugamba take for example attempts to defeat Nantaba and Amelia Chambadde flopped. Even Vice President Sekandi at that time, Chiwanuka Sekandi, bounced back. His political enemies had written his arbitrary. However, Sekandi survived an opposition assault. All of the other MP candidates in Masaka district kati kuluno bamuleta mubbi musazi wansawo basoka ne bamukwatako nga mufere ono gadimba simanyi omulangira gadimba ne bamutwalayo oyo omufere ono gadimba akube Sekandi. Museveni n'alagira sala agendeyo. Yes gadi singa bamukubirayo mubatya abo abalangira balangirayo. The difference between me and Kabaka Mutebi is who married his mother.
That's the only difference.
If my mother was married to Mutesa,
naye wali badde
nkwata gadimba nenkukwata ko gwe simanyi omulangira mu kibanja bana mutune ngulinya ko bwe
n'omwawuliza.
I mean God's image. That's why I feel I wonder why these balokola the so-called balokola abalicious naffe be mulwanyisa. I'm a product of a sexual act between my father and mother. Yohana Mirundi and his wife. True. I wasn't bought from a supermarket. I was never made by carpenters. Never kujoga, never kunjoko, never kujoga, never kuniako, never bama, uli never kujoga. What an inkutam. Nenkwata kubukedde kuwabukedde tutingana. Nenshanga kano kasejja n'okutuwako mu lifuti omwattira muni. Nenshanga katabanika akajiji mu lifuti omwatti ewandula omulambo. They killed my political career. Okay. I'm a very bitter man. Very bitter. You compensate me to calculate nga tutya. gwe bizimbe byokoze myaka 8 ogenda kumpa how do we calculate compensation
mu myaka 8 byafunye
ngugamba in my opinion the opposition calculation was that second is defeat would create a vacancy which Museveni would have used to appoint Kadaga because the president had babala nti Museveni kasekandi bwagwa Museveni agenda kwata Kadaga muobwaji nti ge yasoka obumu bali bagezi nnyo yes kakati kino Kadaga bwamala okuva mu sekandi yakwa nze mbamba mai mbalaba nga batisa
Kadaga olwava mu what
sekandi yakwa nagwa mulimu ebintu byatategeera nti oyimiridde kuondo
oyina okubako ngina akawuzi kwekutteko
negundi nagwa Ameria kyama
namene nene agenda
nantaba ye yabonawo
yekka kuba okumenyawo
yes kakati nkugamba Oulanyah failed to bid for speakership failed bid Oulanyah as these people are making noise about Oulanyah who was neglected who had to go further to hospitals what went wrong you idiots what went wrong what went wrong look how Oulanyah conducted
himself
against the forces that you are choosing now the way they propelled Oulanyah into speakership this one he failed but eventually he took it off
yes
nkugamba the situation in parliament deteriorated further by the election of the speaker and the deputy speaker Oulanyah on the other hand generated confidence. He used his nuclear team to undermine Kadaga, pointing out that she could not manage the house because of the nature of its work. Oulanyah said Kadaga cannot manage the tennis because of the nature of its work. Oulanyah went further. He made another blunder by picking only papers of the speaker. Saka wandise gulu. Oulanyah bwe yagenda okujjayo empapula ejeyiza
speaker.
Ng'ategeeza
sagala bwa deputy njagala kiri
omukazi kyabakoze maya
amongo kyakoze sawa zino
anzala amagulu ukamulinga kamaya lwendi bakuno mwena mulikaba anzala amagulu ukamulinga kamaya maya bafe anzala amagulu exactly what Oulanyah did is what
amongo kyakole sawa zino mitwe gyaki
kitaffe yagulanga mitwe gyangege fe twalyanga mitwe gyangege 10:30 nenkugamba nti he made another blunder Oulanyah by picking only the papers of the speaker. This meant that he was sure of victory.
Like, yes.
Like this among the NRM leadership also blundered by making no effort to stop them from tearing themselves apart. Baali bamaze ekiwedde nannyini nsi okubeera omukobulamu bwe bwonna yali abala ng'abalira mu gavumenti yani fe atukuba Museveni atunula bw'ati alola atukuba ng'ende ewange ankuba
ntwala otuule
walibawo olunaku olumu lwendigenda mwanda weyaye nga niswere empunu bwaba ogwo tali nfugako swere empunu I come from a family of arrogant fellows. Mirundi anzita
akukima.
I pointed out that allowing the two to tear themselves apart undermined their future relationship. If both of them bounced back into their respective positions, which happened.
Yes.
I gave the example of Finance Minister Matia Kasaija, who simply intervened in the National Security Fund leadership wrangles, where his head, Byarugaba, was fighting with his deputy Nassali. The actions of NRM leaders demonstrated that the leadership had lost faith in Kadaga. The NRM further allowed the continuation of negative articles about Kadaga in the newspapers. But it wasn't a Maurika. I tear those newspapers. Following the cheese, how many copies do they circulate? To what Nemuhozi, what work I cook win? Muhozi. I tear them in two pieces. I tell what work money, when one get so get up. I go to get in and necessarily go get up. Take a lead. Take a son of Gogerwa. Call a toilet. No security guard. What work up a carry our cover. I go to Kaleke. Since I come in Sony. Can cook sing Amazi. Okay. The president, lastly, the election of the two was delayed. Now they are lucky. is not going to be delayed.
It's going to be delayed, yeah.
Fueling more media battles. If it delays, you see media
Singana bera wano okudirenga ne baganda tugeze
I told you that most of the monitor reporters were squeezing Ibienda in Rufula. Because Rufula, Kampala City, Abacha engineer, monitor, bagenda bagenzi ne baba wembe. Bafuwanga Bienda mu Rufula. Some of their stories they write are not tenable. Don't expect them to be in a newspaper that is published in English.
Okay.
Ngugamba. Lastly, the president came out and said that he was not supporting any of the two candidates. But clarification came on the heels of Kadaga's statement that he had the backing of the president. Kadaga Kadaga yagamba Museveni awagiranze. Nga yicha provoking Museveni chiri chimu. Agayita ampagira. Museveni feared. Naga sina gwempagira ko kubombi.
Nabyesamba binana bibali.
It had Oulanyah more. Kubanga Oulanyah was claiming Museveni support.
Support, yes.
This woman uyu Kadaga tomwereka ku Kadaga inaba suga abagezi. Then the moment you say uno mulenzi ona ajoge nsi yonna ajijoze n'agitusa wagitusa. Who is his friend? Arrogance. I hear Baganda talking about Kampala. Do they go through Kampala or they own it? If you feel that Baganda, Abaganda, Babadon, the Babachoni, the Babanubi, the Babachi, hey, the president defended his decision by saying that backing any of the two would divide the party, avoiding the mistake he made that Tony Kanu apart. But the president clarification affected the OULANYAH more than Kadaga. It was Kadaga who had claimed, it was OULANYAH who had claimed Museveni's support. The statement indicated that he was neutral, which undermined OULANYAH's team that was claiming president support. Kusoma kataba kankeno kimpandi sobokokolo okugeyana kugamba nti the wisdom and the Muganda man. Omuganda omukadde bwaba akuze nga ina bakazi be babiri abato bwe balwanagana agamba nti emisango ngisala kiro mufukamira abakazi ne bafukamira wano bwe bati emizimu gyewaffe egyabukojja egyabakazi bange mujje tusale emisango ne bawoza munzikiza bombi n'abakwatako bwenkutteko yasiize tasaidi
omu n'asanyuka
yise nodi Muganda wisdom buli omu amukutte katona ategeera takutte kunze gwe tonyega omusajja Omuganda omukadde aba takyasalawo bwe bagenda onaabajjawa. When you read my book, this when I'm supporting him was that these are disputes. Let us argue kuba bano kyebawonyeza ti media tebawandiika nti bali indicted ngenda kuba bu video nga muwoza ku cross examination ejogedi bulinzi munuka omulundi kumumuve ku muhoozi mugenda kunuka aba okolebe bibekaleeta okubeeka mwenge kwadduka kajoza abantu eka mwenge ako oddangayo n'olaba kajjangako jakemu babalutwalo balwasi kugamba actually by claiming that she had the backing of Museveni, whom she was, you remember, Kadaga was accused of fighting Museveni,
yes,
and disloyalty. She was, Kadaga was provoking Museveni to declare his stand over the matter. Museveni's statement collected Kadaga more support than OULANYAH. The OULANYAH team accused Kadaga of disloyalty when she deviated from party position with the gloves off. The center could not hold. Kasita Museveni yava mu kintu. Kadaga yalina obba kuba. Kadaga yalina okuba OULANYAH. Kubanga singa Museveni yavaayo n'agamba nti mpagira. Kadaga yamuprovoking into battle. Museveni n'atya to come into battle. Kuba yali takipulaaningidde. Yali ali bw'ati. N'abaga ajja yajja. Ku luno bamupulaaningira Kadaga.
Kuna agenda okufa nga amaze okupulaaninga.
Nawandika akatabo kange nti option 0. Kasita Kadaga baamutuusa. Uyo omulenzi yabawa nankabirwa mama nankabirwa aliruddawo nankabirwa alina ki 5 billion tutako Kadaga beya nako nakuba ebipande right honorable prime akakazi kamubujja kati akatalina bukali nekamuyisaamu olugayi bwe kati nakabiri akakazi akasiripa kamuyisaamu olugayi yekukumye tayogera nakwogera amafuta g'omulaalo omulaalo bamwagala naye gwe wejjoogo kankubuulire do you know ti abantu abo tebali honest when Bobi Wine was going to visit Mubende Mityana those areas he was taken into a meeting with these people abenaaleo
Bobi Wine are you serious
ne babagamba temukubayo tiya gas Bobi Wine bamukuba ekibuga tiya gas Bobi Wine bamukuba Mityana tiya gas bali bamaze okutegeera nti bwe bakuba tiya gas Museveni agwa eyo bakubayo genda obabuuze genda mu records bakubayo tiya gas lwaki Wannankabirwa tebakubayo tiya gas how you see you ask Wannankabirwa polisi yakubayo tiya gas they had realized nti tiya gas is instrumental to Museveni and fortunately for me the president sent me 2 generals nembanyonyola tiya gas ti tiya gas akuba Museveni bali bagamba nti your son has crossed the red line Museveni nabagamba I know what he is doing tabiriimu ebyo nzisibiri ono gwenkubye beya nnako birwabwogo beya nnako declared noyokola nteeke mwanda we yaze I'm bigger than your pants tujja kubagana paka mambya anti yagala bwa president bamukiriza naye yesimba I've reconciled with everybody except this man who is ready to fight with the troop yes but not waba damaging anganzi what are you going to give to Engineer Byandala ng'omwatunza buli kimu akasajja kabukedde akafekete katika akalwanira ebibanja kajja kabusenga wajja na stock sinjulifu ojja kuddayo na stock sinjulifu wajja na kaveera noddira omusajja yakuleeta mu new vision n'omulyamu olwo kati ne mu harvest money talinnyayo kano kekadde ku tractor nekanuka nayo nekanuka n'obunukusu bwako nkugamba the reason for this in fact the country needs independent institutions not rubber stamp or puppets. The reason for this is that Ugandans have developed a strong feeling that a group of people have usurped the power of the president. Therefore, it is not Museveni the president who wants rubber stamp state institutions, but this underground government that is operating within. Omanyi n'Olanya naye aganja kubeera independent.
Olanya.
Ugandans want independent institutions. Why people want the Kataga is high independence. Yes. Kubanga this is a mature revolution. Naye segundi naye kweka bwati naye kweka nigalo bindizi teyawula biragiro byasezaalawe na bibye bwe kweka bwati naye kweka kakati kakube Museveni agenda mu kubalwaje yabadde akwata sente z'amawulire zonna abadde aziwaye nenkuba t-shirt zange n'agaana nenkuba enkofiira zange n'atansasula alinda nteeke mwanda weeyayo nga tosinza kunteeka mwanda weeyayo ffe twaliwo nga temunnabaawo waliwo kigambo n'afuuka omuntu. It is interesting that Olanya did not learn from the election of the Chief Justice, where Deputy Justice Kavuma, who had been acting in capacity, lost to Katulebe, because Kavuma was a royalist. Bwogamba abantu okulonda mu bantu awagira Museveni tebamulonda. Okimanyi nti Museveni n'agenda mu kalulu mu constituency bamugamba nti sebo wekitiibwa president yogera ku muwanga bano atuli bubi kasita Museveni yogera ku muwanga aba agenda kuyitamu. Opposition people use Museveni's aides to tell Museveni to talk about opposition people. Wherever Museveni attacks, he wins. Muzeyi, what is your comment about the performance of Musisi? Oh, I wish I had 100 Musisis. But at the time Musisi came to government, Besigye had defeated us with a margin of 1,300. We've already told mwebazi n'afukula ekibuga n'afukula n'ababuli wamu n'akatale kali kamukabira kayegula $1,900. Olunaku lumu balitunda woteri zo n'okasasula n'ogula akatale ak'ebiti busaafu $1,900. Government printers n'oleka ng'ogiridde bajja kutunda ebintu byo woteri zo bajja zitunda mulenzi gwe ojja kudda mu bwolo bwewamu obunuka nga ne Museveni tannamu nga bakuyodde itovala kapapala. Yes, kakandi nkugamba The Kadaga team made another good strategy. They changed NRM election rules without the party leadership, realizing Kadaga's woes were blamed on high independence. Kati tetewa ntichikola. Bana abanupu bakoze ensobi ne balwanyisa ani. Among. Kati Among bajja bafudde.
Bamutula alina mu
kubanga nupu kikono ky'abano.
Singa atula ku ntebe bwati.
Nupu kikono ky'abano. Nannyini nsi akolagana ne zaake. Nannyini nsi okubeera omuko obulamu bwe bwonna akolagana ne zaake. Bagagga bonna mbalaba batudde bwe bali. Naye mwanumba. Ne mummonyaabonye emyaka 8. You will pay. You will pay. Ejjovu lyonna ery'omuntu anjoza emyaka 8. You will pay.
Mzee Tamale kulwa kadde mbadde nsaba akatabo tukakomyawo.
Kadagazi nkugamba. Moved and Kadaga kye yakola. Ye kye yakola. Opposition MPs, civil society moved in, and each candidate, including the OULANYAH, who was sure of NRM numbers, solicited the support from the opposition, making NRM numerical strength irrelevant. This is why people like Cecily Ogwaro, Miriam Atembe, and opposition figures joined the battle on the side of Kadaga. Museveni is known to respect public opinion. This is why OULANYAH lost to Kadaga. In my book, Understanding Mafia Politics, published in 2012, I pointed out that the executive had lost to Parliament as far as the people's perception is concerned. I observe that the Parliament had usurped the people the powers of the executive. It is Parliament during Kadaga in the driving seat of public affairs. It was Parliament that was censoring corrupt government officials, including powerful ministers. Parliament could handle people perceived to be so close to the president, like the oil debate that shook the government. It is Parliament that seeks accountability from government and questioning human rights record. Parliament even has handled the wrangles in the markets. Era OULANYAH yali yakuli akakiiko ka market wrangles na recommending obutale budde mu bantu, the OULANYAH Commission, the ministers of local government. Aba local government sibe bali mu gundi. Minister ya local government next council kiwanuka ne munne basi minister ya justice. Ono alagira ffe yoli alagira balamuzi. Mukitte mumujja okudduka ffe tujja kubeera mwatusanga mujja tulekawo. Ffe tuli bakawukanye.
Okay.
Yes. Twasangwawo mujja kudduka tubalabeko kabangali ate munawasa ne mu government endala mumujoge ensi nkugamba. Such issues nti ebintu ebimu nga okusasula abasuubuzi okukola ki bana bali mu paaka bajonoona byali badde mu local government oba mu Kampala City Authority oba ministry ya Kampala. Such issues under normal circumstances should not be under his responsibility because Parliament role does not go beyond legislation. Kadaga yakwata Parliament nagipopularizing. Bwe nali nsoma UN, international relations, UN at 60 batubuzanga ekibuuzo, how do you popularize? Bino byonna ICC used to tell you you are near UN. Peacekeeping, kati bakuba combat, near. Kati Kadaga yafuula Parliament near the people.
Okay.
However, as a political institution, it must be opportunistic. Yajijja ku lolo ya legislation nefuka LC nga buli bamuje baddukira
buli ayina ensonga ajukira mu
Kadaga made Parliament independent and more popular and felt near the people. Yes, opportunistic. The Parliament must be opportunistic, which has earned high public ratings. In this same book, I pointed out that an LC chairperson who believes in mob justice is always more popular than the one who believes in the law. It is a blind loyalty to the executive that had undermined Edward II's power as a speaker. This taught Kadaga a big lesson and elevated herself from the attitude of her former boss. Second year, neka kuyisanga amateeka. Kadaga namuyigirako. Nagandi bwofuuka gundi bakusasula kino omanyi gwe okubeera vice president nokolima ngajoga nolweiso ngajoga anti gwe tulina permanent secretary bajoga minister in president's office ngenda wange kuba matafali siyinza kujogebwa nolweiso ngende ne bakuba omusajja oyo yali popular ennyo oyo omusajja bamuyitaani omusajja gwe bakuba yali ava mityana eyo yali minisita mugundi nyanzi nomukuba bonnakalima bumukuba nempaliza buni bumukuba ne bumujoga the man popular man abaleetera obululu bwamukuba ne bumujoga nolweiso najoga nakalema najoga bakujoga nempale ne bagikujjamu neweewunya ne lwaki wasoma when you want to be humiliated you go to state house gamba nti nkuga sadire kamalize na kino sadire handling of rebel MPs and the Kadaga more support when she rejected the party resolution to get them out of parliament. The party position was that once a member is stripped of party membership, they lose their parliamentary seats. Kadaga, who is a member of the executive committee, supported the two laws. She did not oppose the resolution in the SEC, but refused to implement it as speaker. The rebel MPs and the public trust and their popularity nseko gwe bakubye nseko yeba mukubye kasa yalete ekiteeso ekyo bamukubanga bamanyi nti asobola okudda ku deputy speaker yes bamuleetera ekiwunya. Their popularity soured. They were seen as the voice of reason in the party which was being threatened by an internal dictatorship. Nanyini nsi ng'atandise okujjayo omutwe nanyini nsi. Kadaga created a chamber in parliament to accommodate them. Her decision was upheld by the Supreme Court, and the rebels in inverted commas retained their parliamentary seats. Kakati kyembabuuza.
Tamale.
Olaba battle gye bakolera Oulanyah.
Yes.
Are you fair now to say that the people who fought to Oulanyah killed Oulanyah? Hey, Oulanyah yali wakufa ddi mutubuulire mmwe ab'MP beewaabwe. You actually MPs tell us, according to God's direction, when would Oulanyah die? Mutubuulire nti no Oulanyah okusinziira ku Katonda kitaabwe gye yamuwa teyali wakufa kati. Ffe tukugamba I used to tell you that even those who say, I mean, they say they are rule for life.
Yeah.
Did you rule for life?
No.
Okupulaninga kwaffe bantu decision yani
ya Mungu.
Oyinza nti Museveni njagala akomewo. Have you talked to God? When you remove term limits, have you talked to God? Haven't you seen presidents who die Magufuli teyafa?
Yafa.
Did you know?
No.
Do you believe how many leaders did they die from COVID? Tell me.
Banja bagenda.
By leaders, by presidents. Tewali n'omu.
Ate wagu.
Anti Magufuli.
Ye
yafa yekka.
Magufuli yafa.
Ekitegeeza when you reach leadership emerges at the surplus level. Obwakabaka bwa Saudi Arabia bwatandika 3 nga bakoze oil. A leader can not die COVID. Naye God is the decision. Nti ekibisopolwanga abantu babajja e Masaka ne babajjawa ne bawonera e Rubaga. Ekibisopolwanga yafa distance okutuuka e Rubaga. Mutesa ku survived an attack by Obote ng'olubiri baluzizeeko yafiira ku party.
So okufa kusanga onawo okola ki?
Yes. Nyakayirima yagenda mu gundi Iron Fist n'akwata ne ku jaketi ya Koni. Yafiira mu ntebe ng'atudde mu nnyonyi. Savimbi Wambo nga tewalinyibwa ina ne Air Force was killed nga yeegatanga ne musawo Muganda. Yagamba abasajja be bali 3 nti mumugende bakomandozi be nadda mu kwegatanga kozi bamonitoring. Was killed like a dog.
Mzee Tamale.
Oyita ojoko yafiira mu lutalo.
Nga tumaliriza. Ani gola basana okuba mufuba speaker.
Anti nze nkubuli eby'omuti biri nnomu. Eby'omuti biri nnomu sobola bawa amagezi. Who should be a speaker? Eby'omuti biri nnomu. Into groups ziri bbiri.
Okay.
Waliwo group buli omu alina gundi ze proposals ze. But when basekererera, what's the role of a speaker? Role of a speaker in fact oba omuvuddemu. If you make me a minister I cannot. Oyagala nange bannabakoba abafere nange mbawagire corrective responsibility. Ate nafa atufuga I cannot be a minister.
Okay.
when I become a minister basanyuka n'okusanyuka bampisaamu kuba bategedde tumuwonye embwa tugikuddemu
agenda kuba tutambula ffenna
ewange leeta ya appointment ya minister bom tayimbwa mu mutwe ntegeera you want to concentrate me you want to deny me my freedom kakati mugamba sipiika bw'omulonda oba omufiiriddwa omuzannyo omulungi n'omufuula leefu kubanga okujjako bano abalamba alabe n'aleeba when you stand to speak you can even go to the speaker chambers noga nti eno motion njagala gyogerako ne bano balambaazi kakati ne bumulwanire obwa speaker ng'aboogera si bammwe in fact you should look for an eloquent MP yes bali basanga ojjako both ati kyekubuulira both amanye amateeka yes naye mba mumufiiriddwa he is working very well amateeka agamanyi
bulungi naye wagenda kuba speaker wali eri Anita Among naye singa bakituddira
kiba kibi nnyo okugamba nga gavana wa Bank of Uganda n'oleeta omusajja n'omujja n'afuuka deputy nemutandika okugamba ani agutwala naye temuyina nsonyi basajja mumwe nga n'omuntu tannabunda kajina ani era baba bamwe abatalina nsonyi bano bakulira mu makaaki nebatandikanga n'omusajja gavana tebannamuzi mwamuleeta ono gwe mwaleeta yalibeera ku bwa deputy. This is why I encourage this woman bembalasingwe bakuname tulabe oba baali bakuleetedde ekyo baleete owaabwe yennyini ensi kati ensi bakunamya buli wali ali mu jeema buli muntu yenna ayingira jeema kati buli muntu ayingira jeema kuba kunamya waayi tubadde tulowooza nti enyo future ya Museveni
teriyo
ne bw'osoma mu katabo kange muno nkubuulira ndi waba ogwo mugezi has been accumulating wealth under the protection of his father-in-law.
Okay.
Kakati ategedde ndi father-in-law is retirement.
Agenda.
Tayinza kukkiriza mukozi. Mukozi si member wa fellowship. Ayina creating our situation a rate neutral person nga mukozi amwanda mayonnaise.
Fellowship isigale ng'eta